I don't want to brag, but I was the titular Holy Spirit.
Hello, I'm Kat Sadler.
And I'm Simon Bird.
These are our film firsts for BAFTA. First TV show I ever remember watching, apparently I was addicted to it, watched it every single night, is Tom and Jerry.
Great choice.
Thank you, yeah.
That's really good.
And we think that Lizzie's Jerry and I'm Tom, because I'm grey and she's tan.
That tracks.
Yes, but I remember seeing a lot of violence, thinking it was very funny.
Mine was the opposite, actually. It was very sort of soft and comforting, which was Mr. Rogers' Neighbourhood.
I don't know what you're talking about. What's that?
Well, I lived in America when I was a kid, so it's an American show. And it's basically, it's a man, he comes into his house, he puts on his slippers, he puts on a cardigan, he feeds his fish.
That's it.
That's it.
Loved it. How long has it gone for? What's an episode length?
A couple of hours. First film or TV show we watched at a young age that we shouldn't have seen. For me, in my house, we had I don't know whether it's the same for you, but we had about 15 or 20 VHS tapes.
Okay. And
that collection didn't change across my entire childhood.
Right.
And it was a real random grab bag of stuff.
Okay.
And one of those was Nuns on the Run. Ever heard of it? It's a sort of bawdy romp starring Eric Idle and Robbie Coltrane.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
As two con men who hide in a convent. Well, there's some tits in it.
Oh, really? How much tit?
There's quite a few tits actually, and as a sort of 12, 13-year-old pubescent boy, there was some pausing and rewinding. And
was that the first pair of tits you've ever seen?
It's grotty, isn't it? It's getting a bit grubby.
Or had you seen pair of tits before?
God, I'm getting quite God, sorry. They were probably the first breasts I'd seen. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's stop talking about it. I shouldn't have brought it up. You asked.
At sleepovers, everyone would put horror films on, and so I had to watch. I watched The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, what age?
I say actually not even that young, but it fucked me up.
Uh-huh.
I didn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
I can't watch it now.
No, I don't watch horror films.
No.
Why would you?
No, but it was every sleepover. Final Destination, Saw.
I'm so sorry.
I'm trying to think what I was obsessed with. I think I watched the film. Did you ever see 10 Things I Hate About You?
Of course.
I watched that so many times that I changed my name to Kat, and it made huge.
That's your origin story.
That's my origin story. Yeah, I wanted to be her so much. Yeah. She had a sister who was more popular.
Do you think you've achieved that in any way?
No, apart from changing my name. No. And I missed prom because I was told it was feminist. But I went to an all-girls school, so it was like, who am I? Who am I proving this to?
As discussed, we had quite a limited range of videos, and we did have complete Blackadder and complete 40 Towers, and I just used to watch those.
Did you?
Yes.
What was your favourite?
I think maybe just 40 Towers, but I love them both, and I think I've seen every episode. I mean, minimum 100 times each. The first thing I saw, I guess, Saw covers it, that made me want to direct was actually being in the Inbetweeners. I didn't really know what directing was before. I had no concept of how a TV series or a film was made. And then going on set there, and the two guys that ran that were called Ian Morris and Damon Beasley, and they were so unprofessional and immature. I say this with great love and respect, but they're bozos.
Very much a blueprint for you then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made me realise that anyone can do it.
Just walking off the street.
Yeah. I mean, that is genuinely true. They didn't know what they were doing. They were just quite funny and people liked them.
Yeah.
And that was enough.
I still don't really know if I count fully as an actor, but I remember thinking some of the comedy performances when I was a kid watching.
You do count as an actor. Was that too late to be reassuring?
I don't know. I was trying to think what was a performance that I was like, that's really. It's like comedy acting. I think Steve Carrell in anything is funny. Mm-hmm. And particularly as a kid, I think watching him in Bruce Almighty, and he's doing the anchor thing, and he's got the curse. He's got the curse, and he can't speak words, so he has to sort of waffle. And it's just a very funny performance. So.
Sounds funny.
Have you seen anything? All your references are from 40 years ago.
I'm old!
First thing I ever acted in, I don't think you're going to believe this, but I played Sandy in Grease in my
I don't believe it.
Drama club's production of it.
All singing, all dancing?
It was a small segment from Grease, it wasn't the whole thing.
Okay.
I don't think we had the attention span for that. But I remember having a big crush on Frenchie.
Yeah.
Big time. And there was a scene where she has to sit on the stage and put her arm around me and be like, Sandy, it's okay. And I'm being like, can we rehearse that again? And again. Mine
was I went to a all-boys Catholic prep school, and our drama teacher put on as the school play one year. He'd written it himself. It was called The Spirit. It was about the Holy Spirit and Saul's conversion on the road to Damascus. and I was. I don't want to brag, but I was the titular Holy Spirit.
Can you remember any lines you had to say?
Well, no, I think there was actually quite a lot of us playing the Holy Spirit because the Holy Spirit is like he's wind, isn't he? But he's also fire.
Right.
And I think I was a bit of the fire.
You were.
I was a tongue of fire. First film or TV show that reduced us to tears.
I must say that we are quite dead inside. So this is a really hard question. I don't think
I don't think I've ever cried in my life. I do remember being very moved when Tim and Dawn kissed in the office.
Oh.
But it didn't make me cry.
What about in the US office? Did you get moved by that kiss?
I haven't really seen much of the US office.
Jesus Christ.
I just really like the British one.
Yeah.
So I don't. I've sort of
And was it
kept my
like
distance from the American.
Was it because of the slow band that you were like, thank God about this kiss? What was it? Was it the release?
I think it probably was. Yeah.
I once cried. Yeah, I welled up, and it won't be something that you've seen. And it's a film called Homeward Bound.
I have seen it.
Have you seen Homeward Bound?
Of course, yeah.
When Shadow comes running across the hill at the end.
I watched it with my kids recently.
Oh my God.
It is
really
good.
When Sassy comes back and the dog comes back and then they think Shadow was too old and they're like, he won't have made it, he was too old.
But he has made it. And look, here he comes across the valley. My first day on set was just the first day of the first series of Inbetweeners.
What was that like?
It was really, really hard.
What were you wearing? Was it your suit?
I can't remember what I was wearing. No, I think it was the first. It was in the car park at Thorpe Park.
Oh my God, yeah.
She
I
knows
remember it well. It's
I do.
comedic.
But I remember I couldn't really remember any of my lines. I was quite sort of shaky and sweaty.
Yeah.
And I kept asking to watch back every performance.
Oh, did you actually?
Every take, yeah.
What did they say?
I think they let me to begin with. Then by the end they were like, this is taking far too long. But luckily my friend Joe Thomas, it was his first day on set as well, and he was, if anything, much worse than me. So that was
Did you remember your lines?
Spent so long learning them, and as soon as I stepped on set, instantly
gone.
forgot
Yeah,
them all.
proof. Yeah, that's the effect. Yeah, I think it was it. She was one of such brave girls. Like I was on set on like other shows, like, but only as a writer. So like as an actor, it's walking on for this really, which was good because I had Lizzie, same as your Joe. So we sort of made each other feel a bit better, but we were petrified, yeah. The first day on Such Bro Girl season 2 was cold and rushed and sad.
We did some stuff with a boat. There was some stuff on the driveway of the house.
Oh yeah, because the house is not, we have an interior built inside a school and we have the exterior as an actual house. So anything in a doorway, we have to shoot one way from the real house and then one way from the set build, so it's an absolute nightmare.
Our first meeting was, well, you can't see, but we've got some cocktails over there, and it was quite similar to that. We went to a cocktail bar. We went on a date.
Hang on. We did go on it. Hang on. Here you go.
Thanks very
So
much.
I met Simon in a cocktail bar. Cheers. And he was on his own downstairs in this cocktail bar. It was empty, and he had streaming cold.
It was hay fever. Yeah, I kept sneezing.
And I sat down and I said, do you want me to blow my nose in front of you so you're not worried? Mm-hmm. And then we talked about comedy, and you were very frightened of me.
Yeah. She's terrifying.
But then I think it was good after that, and I said, you should meet Lizzie. And then I said, do you think it's going to be good? And you were like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, you should do it then.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history. Cheers to that.
Cheers.